Hi everyone, this is Lauren Steiner from the Robust Opposition, and I'm here at the Gramercy in Santa Monica, California, where I'm about to attend an organizing meeting for Elizabeth Warren. You are the regional director for Warren?
Regional organizer, yeah.
Okay, so how many states are you responsible for?
Currently right now, 8.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, we're trying to hit, get everything going. We want to make sure that we're connecting people everywhere we are, so it's really great.
I think there were probably about 200, 250 people here tonight. Would you say that was about it?
Yeah, I have to double check, but the room was definitely packed tonight. Yeah.
This is my dog, Elizabeth Warren. She's 4.5 years old.
Can I take a picture?
You may. It's Elizabeth Warren, all one word, so there's no nicknames. You can't call her Elizabeth. You have to say the whole thing. I wanted to name my dog after her, a wonderful human woman, and that was the most wonderful human woman I could think of. And it's fitting, because my dog is also very courageous and brilliant.
I think one of the things that really impresses me about her is just the incredible breadth and depth of knowledge and her ability to communicate that knowledge. Like, you see it in the way she communicates, like the fact that she was a teacher, you really see that in the way that she communicates ideas, in a way that people really get and that people really understand. It's something I've rarely ever seen in a politician, and is so important if we want to get people to actually believe in the ideas that we're passionate about.
I think Ronald Reagan gets a lot of credit for being a great communicator, but really he was just an actor. Elizabeth Warren is a great teacher. So she's really going to be able to communicate complicated ideas to the broadest swath of people in the best possible way. And I just marvel at how well she can distill complicated ideas for a mass audience.
Causes she's fighting for health care for all, and for climate change and reproduction freedom. They're all my causes, so I'm supporting her for all this.
That's great. And do you have a second choice by any chance?
Yeah, Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. What do you like about her?
Oh, she's a fighter. I want her to fight for us.
Who did you support in 2016, can I ask?
Oh, Clinton.
I support Elizabeth Warren because I believe that she can make the changes that we need in our country.
And are there any particular issues that are very important to you?
Student debt, climate change, and women's reproductive rights. I do not have student debt. I am not in college yet. I'm just going into high school.
Oh my goodness.
Her priorities are where they ought to be. Priority number one is fixing the system. It's just so corrupt. It is so ugly and broken. Money talks over everything else. The voices of 10 million people are subjugated by the voice of one person with $10 million. It's not how it's supposed to be. And she knows that. She gets right to the heart of what really should be defining us as a democracy, and the ground we have to make up to fight back against the corruption of money in politics.
She's the only Democratic candidate that has come along in 30 years who is willing to name names and say where the middle class went. The billionaires took it away. And she...
You don't think Bernie Sanders needs names?
No.
I think Bernie Sanders does name names, and they have a similar voice and a similar message. However, I believe that this candidate, Elizabeth Warren, can articulate the message like no other.
It's not health care for all. It's not technology. It's not globalization. There's a bunch of rich people, 165 families who took our America away. Yeah.
Well, hold on now. Are you a Bernie guy at a Warren party? Okay, so now they would be a great ticket, no doubt.
I think that Bernie also has some really great ideas, and I know that Warren also shares some of those beliefs, but I do like Elizabeth Warren.
I think we need someone in office that's a little more progressive. She has a plan that's very solid that she's laid out since the beginning of the campaign. Number three, she supports reparation for slavery, ancestors of slaves. I've lived in Massachusetts, so I've always loved her as a senator. And I think she's the best candidate out there running for president. I mean, 2 years ago, I supported Bernie. But this time around, I'm giving all my support because I think she can win.
I'm organizing also for her because if you look at her experience and you look at her like previous history, you can see she has been fighting against special interests long before she actually became in office. She is someone who actually fought against the Obama administration and actually like challenged them. And so like you see her toughness, you see her willingness to actually put her neck out on the line and to actually fight for the issues that we care about. You see her, if you watch her in videos, going up against Wells Fargo, if you're going up against the financial industry. She's super good and super effective at really being able to get to the nitty gritty of like pointing out injustice.
Sure. I support Elizabeth Warren because she's the best candidate, the most intelligent out of all of them. She's a fighter. She'll fight for what she believes in.
What issues are most important to you?
Climate change.
Who did you support in 2016?
I couldn't vote in 2016, but I supported Bernie in the primary.
If you talk to me about like why I'm supporting her as opposed to Bernie Sanders, I think it's hard. I love them both. I love them dearly. I love Bernie more than actually I did even back then. I've been super impressed with Bernie this campaign, to be honest. His criminal justice reform package is awesome. I was like super excited to see that. The reason I'm more passionate about Elizabeth is that, one, I think Elizabeth has a better ability to communicate the ideas that we care about, and I think that's so important in a campaign. I also have to think that, like, I think she might be a better way of uniting both sides, kind of like the moderate and the left and all of that. I think she might be able to help bridge some of the gaps that we've often seen. Also, I'm a policy nerd. And so I'm attracted to people who can talk about policy in a very detailed way, who can talk about it in a way just like properly off the cuff. So just on a personal level, that creates an affection for me for Warren.
My name is Donna, and I have been following Elizabeth Warren's career since I worked in the bankruptcy courts, and she has planned for everything, and I support all of her plans.
And you're the second choice?
If electability weren't an issue, I'd say Mayor Pete. I love him. And otherwise, if I took electability into account, Kamala Harris.
First of all, she's the smartest candidate. Second of all, she's the best equipped to lead us into the future. She's a real Democrat. She's a Democrat in the vintage of Franklin Roosevelt.
She's dedicated to fixing the competitive aspect of this country. She's a capitalist. She's not a socialist. I was a socialist in high school. I outgrew it. You know, I'm still as progressive as I can be, but socialism I don't think is the path for this country. And it's close, and there's overlap. And God knows I love Bernie. I campaigned for him as hard as I could in 2016. But then capitalism is not defunct. It just needs a cop on the beat.
You know that Bernie Sanders isn't a real socialist. He's a democratic socialist.
I know that.
More akin to an FDR-style Democrat.
That's true. That's true.
He doesn't want to nationalize any industry or expropriate.
That's exactly true. That's exactly true. The problem is that a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people on the right think he's a communist, and a lot of people on the left think he's a communist. And really, you're exactly right. It's more nuanced than that. But even between democratic socialism and capitalism is an important distinction. Elizabeth Warren doesn't want to burn the house down. She wants to fix it.
Now, you mentioned FDR, Democrat.
Sure.
Bernie Sanders is talking about the FDR's second Bill of Rights, which is health care for all, free education,
Absolutely.
all that sort of stuff. Why not Bernie?
Why not Bernie? I'm 66 years old, and I'm too old to be president of the United States. Elizabeth Warren is not a normal person. At 70, she can still do the job. and she could still possibly do the job at 78. Bernie, Biden, I'm speaking as a senior citizen. They're too old.
Hi, my name is Shireen McDade, and here's the song that they should be using for the Democratic National Convention. At the age of 18, you can't buy a beer. You can't go to school without trembling with fear. But you can buy weapons, assault guns no less. Wake up, America, and clean up this mess.
I feel that she has a really good chance of beating Trump because she was in the last election and so she was really well received, and she also has like a name recognition.
What do you mean she was in the last election?
I mean, well, I believe she was up for a candidacy for, but she didn't make it too far, of course. It's
No,
just,
she never ran in 2016.
oh, she didn't? Well, there was talk of it, and actually, are you sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Well,
because I was trying to
oh.
get her or Bernie to run in 2016. And
Oh, there was a lot of talk about it. There was a lot of talk of it. And anyway, she has been really covered in the media for a very long time. People know her, and they know it's just the fact that they might exactly not agree with her totally, but they know, they're familiar with her, and they know what her opinions are, and they have a general idea of what she would do if she was president. I think that's a good thing.
Okay, guys, I was asked not to stream the organizing meeting, so I'm going to be turning off right now, and I'm glad to have brought this to you.
You know, as you